Hey everybody, Mtn Grandma here. Today I'm going to share with you a garden tour as part of the Garden Tour Club collaboration, and also share with you my harvest for what could be a $100 tomato. And I'm starting right here with this basil plant that's about 3 foot tall. Would you look at this guy? He's been a great protector for my tomatoes because I haven't had any bugs so far.
And I will share my biggest one yet was growing right here on this plant. It was the only tomato on the whole plant, I think. Hold on. No, there might be a couple over there. But he was huge, and I'll show a picture. And you can see my dog, Bear in the background. Hey, Bear. Over here, I've got a couple of yellow squash. So these cauliflower have not been doing well. I don't know, maybe they'll come around as the weather gets cooler. But right here I've got some purple broccoli and some purple kohlrabi that I'm going to get planted right over there. This bed needs a lot of work from us. We need to come pull weeds and put down more mulch. But you can see these are the Brad's Atomic Grape tomatoes through here, and they're really producing grapes. You can see all the red in there. These are the raspberry placker cherry tomatoes. Those ones are doing great also. Great producer. Oh, you can see a watermelon hanging out with those guys. There's more of the Brad's Atomic Grape tomatoes. So these three were supposed to be the orange spice jalapenos. And there's another raspberry placker cherry tomato on its last leg. Oh, I do have 3 of the butternut squash growing. I don't have any butternut squash yet, at least that I've seen. But here's some flowers. So maybe I'll have some of those guys soon. More jalapenos, or supposed to be jalapenos. This is this is my mystery pepper plant. He's not the same as the others, so we'll see. But we've been harvesting from these as we make meals, dinners, things like that. And I found that it's actually not enough jalapenos. I think I'm going to have to actually buy some to make the salsa that I plan on making, which is a bummer. So I underplanted jalapenos with all of these plants. I'm going to have to figure out how to get a better harvest out of each of those next year. But this is huge for this bed, because this bed last year I couldn't grow anything.
So here you see my 3 pepperoncini pepper plants. They're all doing well. I may transplant them into one of the other beds to maybe help them thrive a little more. No peppers yet, but we do have flowers. And in these other big barrel containers are my Mariana tomatoes. And would you look at these? These are so full of tomatoes. I'm just thrilled. Now what I've done with these is I've recently put in some crushed up eggshells because I had a couple of tomatoes that had blossom end rot, and I'll show you what those look like right here.
I think in this little guy. Uh-oh. Yeah, let me show you. Oh no. I don't know what happened to him. Let me pull him off of there. Looks like bugs. Here's another of the tomato plants, the Marianas. And look at this. It's not super leafy. It's just super tomatoey, which is awesome. These are 2 little watermelon plants. You can see they're vining out. That is not a big enough container, and I need to transplant these. So these are a couple of things I'm thinking about moving to the front bed. I'm still trying to decide on that.
And this is my St. John's wort, which is not even supposed to be here. I actually dug this up early spring, late winter, planted it out in my woods, and look here, it just came back. And the one out in my woods actually isn't thriving. So I'm going to leave this guy early spring. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to transplant it into a new area outside of my garden bed to see how it does. But this thing, the little branches, I guess you call them, or vines, are like 2 foot tall. Like they're 2 foot long. It's actually quite large. And I'm going to be harvesting this because I want to make some paint oil, and St. John's wort is something that I use for that. So more to come on that in a future video. And over here is where I had my ginormous horseradish root, like covering up everything. And it's also my squash bed. I planted 5 squash plants. There's 2 that are alive, and I've got 1 zucchini so far. Some dill, a garlic, marigold. I'm going to transplant some fall plants in there or something. And then these are my beets here that look like they're doing well. I'm going to harvest some of those leaves for some salads. And I got to show you this. So this is my oregano. And check this out. Over here to the side of it, it jumped out of the container and it's growing out of the ground. I don't have any idea how that happened. It's the craziest thing ever. But there's 2 of them there that I'll be harvesting, and I'm just going to leave it, of course, because why not? Oregano is a good thing. All right, so now let me show you that tomato. We're putting that sucker in the scale so you can see how much it weighed.
This is our little harvest of potatoes. Crazy looking potato there. Kind of looks like a heart. Red potatoes. These are Kennebecks is what these ones are. I let the other 2 sit out there because I'm thinking maybe we'll get more. These are the 4 that I harvested. This, you can see him next to the other ones. Like these guys were the biggest. This is my almost 12-ounce tomato. You can see it to the size of my hand. It's just huge. This could be a $100 tomato on the Grow Big TV challenge. We shall see.
And here we go. I'm putting this big guy on the scale so you can see how much it weighs. Check it out. 11.8 ounces. It's one big tomato. I hope it wins the Grow Big TV Tomato Challenge, which would be $100. And if you want to follow along with all the other challenges for like the biggest zucchini and sunflower, and I know there's other ones, I can't think of them offhand, but go check out Grow Big TV. I'll put the link down in the description box below. Thank you all for following me along on this garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Until I see you next time, remember everybody, keep your joy, folks.